Anyone familiar with Miss Rachel? Anyone, raise your hand if you're familiar with Miss Rachel. Okay, so we've got a smattering of people, but look, at the Spear House, there are a lot of people familiar with Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel is the star of educational children's videos on YouTube and Netflix. So in preparation for today, we surveyed our youngest community members, right? Who do we have there? Is it Rosemary? Yeah. Is it Peter? Is it Peter? Yeah. Is it Lena? Yeah. So we have Lena and Peter and Rosemary Spear because they know a little bit about Miss Rachel and they can help if anyone here wants to learn more. So I asked them, actually their mom asked them, Emily asked them, what they like best about watching Miss Rachel. And here's what they said. Her songs. Do we like her songs? Yeah. The animations mixed with real people. And the surprise learning box. Now, those of us here who've never watched Miss Rachel, you might want to just Google. Series is on Netflix. It's worth learning about. And we have experts in the community who can answer any questions. Lena, Peter, and Rosemary. Special thanks for the children. Thank you. You are the stars today. So, children worldwide recognize Miss Rachel's signature denim overalls and knotted pink headband. Before her son Thomas, who's now 7, was born, Rachel was a public school music teacher in the Bronx. And when Thomas was 6 years old, or 6 months old, his mom, Rachel, began hosting baby music classes, which evolved to posting songs for little people on YouTube, just so that more parents would have access to entertaining, free children's educational content. And then when her son, Thomas, was diagnosed with a speech delay, Rachel began creating videos that would help him learn to talk. During the pandemic that we all remember, right, 5 years ago, when so many parents were home with stir-crazy children, unclear whether the children or the parents were stir-crazy, but anyway, at that time, and we can all put ourselves back on our couches, Miss Rachel catapulted to international fame. Her YouTube channel has 16 million subscribers and 11 billion views. Miss Rachel, also known as, or probably previously known as, Rachel Griffin Akersu, grew up watching Mr. Rogers and aware that Mr. Rogers communicated what he stood for through the show. Rachel recently rewatched the episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, where Rogers invited Officer Clemens to cool his feet in a wading pool. Anybody remember that? Yeah, right? Those were the days when many white Americans were fiercely protesting the desegregation of public swimming pools. Different ways of delivering messages. Miss Rachel uses her digital media platform to teach and to move the world. To raise awareness around mental health, she openly shares her own struggles with anxiety and OCD. In fact, with her husband, in 2016, she wrote a musical based in a psychiatric ward. Rachel is currently working on a special video episode that explores the concept of friendship and features a guest star named Rahaf Saeed, a 3-year-old double amputee from Gaza who lost both her legs in an Israeli airstrike in August of 2024, right, a year ago. Rachel is outspoken in her advocacy for humanity, especially children living in conflict zones who daily face trauma and starvation. In places like Gaza, Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Ukraine. And as often happens, gosh, it happened with Jesus, but it often happens with people who speak their truth. Rachel has been criticized and targeted for speaking out. Unlike the rich farmer in today's gospel, who chooses to focus only on himself and hoard rather than share his abundant harvest with his neighbors, Miss Rachel's generous focus is the larger community. She teaches moral lessons by telling stories and modeling our oneness, our shared humanity. The bottom line, it matters how each of us invest our lives and our gifts to bless the world. And here's the postscript. When I initially read today's gospel, the line that stayed with me was, avoid greed in all its forms, for your life is not made more secure by what you own. Didn't we grow up believing it was? Even when you have more than you need. So let's understand what greed is. Wikipedia defines greed as an excessive and selfish desire for more than what is needed or fair, particularly concerning material possessions like wealth or power. It's characterized by an insatiable craving for accumulation and a disregard for the needs or well-being of others. While self-interest is a natural human tendency, greed goes beyond this by prioritizing personal gain at potentially detrimental costs to oneself and others. That's the definition. So today's readings might feel particularly relevant, considering the state of our country and our world. And yet, as we know, there's always good news. And this week, for me, it surfaced in a blog post by Dr. Diana Butler Bass that cited a version of the Serenity Prayer that she suggests opens a path of resilience and appropriate action that we may be transformed. Don't you hate it when it comes back to us, right? So much easier to direct it outward, but it's all about us. And I mean, just think of the word, right? We talk about 12-step spirituality. Inherent in the word spirituality is the spirit who we acknowledge, right? And ritual that we value, right? So put it together. Here it is. So I want to close with that. And although this prayer is attributed to Reinhold Niebuhr, the great 20th century American theologian, the version shared is one that Niebuhr's daughter suggested was closest to her father's intention. And rather than an individual petition, it's a communal invocation. God, give us grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed. Courage to change the things that should be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish the one from the other. Ah, wisdom.